Hello, I'm Dave with RP Stock. Today we're going to be going over the Transitions and Wipes pack available from rpstock.net. You get 50 transitions and wipes for your After Effects projects. What you get on your download is this zip file here. If we double click on that, we'll extract a folder. And inside the folder, we have a few things here. We have a PDF guide that will talk a little bit about what this video is talking about. You also have the animated previews of the transitions. So if you cycle through these GIFs, you can see your transitions, or you can double click on this HTML file, all the transitions on this nice little clever little grid here, which is very helpful. We close out of that. What else do we have in here? We also have the RP Stock terms of use for this thing, which is a fantastic read. Just check that out. Here is the After Effects project. It's right here. It's for CC15 2018. You also have older versions for 14 and 13 if you have not upgraded yet. And all you have in here is a footage folder, and it has 3 paper textures to reference. And we'll get into that later on inside of After Effects. All right, let's jump into After Effects and see what this pack can do. Okay, we're inside of After Effects here, and I have this sample project where we want to transition from this Mars HUD graphic approach to a time lapse of Hawaii. So how do we do that? We have to import our project first. So to do that, navigate up to File, Import, Import File, and then find your After Effects project for the transitions. And click on Open. And that imports it right into your current project. If we twirl this down, you can see we have our RP transitions and we have our RP wipes here. Each one of these compositions is HD, 1920 by 1080 and 2997 frames per second. Now, none of these transitions or wipes need third-party plugins, so it's fairly simple. And we're going to get into the 4 different types of wipes and transitions. We have a simple edit, the collapse transformation, track mats, and replacing footage. Let's start with the simple. Number 32 is a hex wipe here. And what a simple edit means is that at this place edit marker, everything is covered. So your transition will be seamless underneath. And all you need to do is slide this over to where your edit is going to take place. And then I'm just going to scrub through this, and you'll see that this goes through and then wipes right off to Hawaii here. Now let's say this transition is a little bit too long for you. We can do a time stretch on it. On your timeline down here, if you don't see the stretch option, right click and go to columns and then stretch. And you click on your percentage here, and you can go in here and change this. So if we change this to maybe 30%, the speed of this transition is going to be a lot quicker. Just lay that over there. And if we preview it, very cool wipe. And you can time stretch on any of the transitions or wipes inside of this project. So right now we are going to jump into how to do a collapse transform transition. So if we twirl down our basic transitions, we have this cool bad film gate transition. So if we drag this out here, number 4, and move the place edit just like before, and then we kind of scrub over this and nothing is really happening. It's not happening how it should happen. And that's why we call it a collapse transformation. If you head over to on your timeline here, you got this little button here. If you hover over it, it says collapse transformations. Click on that and you'll notice it changed instantly. So let's go back through here and preview this. There you go. And that's how the collapse transformation edits work. It's really, really simple. Just drag this and place it over top. And you can also drag more in. So let's say we wanted something else to do. You can stack these. All you got to do is hit the collapse transformation and it will do both of these things at once, which is interesting if you want to make a little bit more complex wipes. So I'm going to delete these out of here. Let's get into the next wipe. We're going to go to the track mats wipe. So we're going to close this down and we're going to head into the organic wipes here. And for an example, we have 41 here, the organic fire linear wipe. Now you'll notice there's 2 compositions in here. What you need to do is grab both of them and drag them into your project. Line up the place edit here marker. And you'll notice the orange Luma inverted mat has to be below your transition, but on top of the footage that you want to transition to. So how do we make this work? Because right now we just see white and black. We need to go to the track mat of our footage and do Luma inverted. And now if we scrub through here, you need to extend your bottom layer. See how it was coming off in the end here? You need to extend that a little bit longer until the transition is complete. And that is a track mat edit. Now, you'll notice through here, if we twirl down the circle wipes, some of them have alpha inverted mats. So in order to change that, you just go on that footage and do alpha inverted mat. So there's some that have Luma inverts and alpha inverts. And the reason we do this is because the inverted mat, once you pass the transition, your footage is still seen. So it doesn't cut right off. it transitions fully through. So that's just a way to help you through it. So what we can do, let's say we want to change some of this stuff. So double click into the comp and we have a control layer up top here. What's in the control layer? Well, it's different for each transition, but for this linear fire wipe, we have a lot of things we can control here. We can change the angle of the wipe, and that updates here. That will also update your Luma inverted matte. Very convenient. You can turn these particles on, you can turn them off. You can adjust the amount of particles you want seen. You can change the hue, the colors, and you can change the particle colors, the glow radius. So you can do a bunch of different stuff to make this wipe what you want it to be. All right, close out of that, and we're going to get into our final edit. It's the replacing footage edit. An example of that is under these mouse click transitions. We are going to transition, let's do 16 here. Drag 16 in. Let's delete our old footage there. And you notice this marker has a transition end. So right now we have a placeholder in here. It's grabbing the A. Let's say we want to go from the Mars HUD to different footage here. So I'm going to delete out our Hawaii shot and double click into here. And inside this composition, you'll notice two things. We have a select hand or arrow control layer, which is just a checkbox up here in the effects control. And you can switch between the arrow and the hand. And the replace footage. So inside these replace footage, you have these green comps inside here. And all you need to do, let's say we want to go to this Golden Gate Bridge great shot, is hold down Option. Make sure your replace footage is selected right down here. Make sure that's highlighted. Hold down Option, click on your footage, drag it here. Let go of the mouse, and it will replace the footage inside here perfectly. So if we head back into our project, you'll see where the transition ends, so you can move your edit underneath to there, and let's see what happens. Look at that. We got a nice little fun transition with the hand pulling down another footage layer on top of here. And if we go over the naming schemes, we have replace footage has that on the end there. Your collapse transformations are in there, so you know which one's which on the collapse transformations. If we twirl these down, the ones with duplicate numbers will always have a matte assigned to it. Ones with single numbers are the simple edits, which are straight wipes. So if we delete this out of here, and you'll see at the edit marker, it goes full. Now, I haven't gotten into the digital glitch transitions, and these are very fun. So let's do number 10, digital reception transition. And this is a collapse transformation. So in order for it to work, you have to click this button right here. And if we preview, so inside this glitch transitions folder, I'm just going to go over this real quick. We have, in order to make all of these, there's a bunch of displacement maps activating and doing different things. So you can use these to create your own glitch transitions if you'd like. You also have this fun RGB split collapse transformation, which you can use separately on its own if you collapse the transformation. You can use these on logos, footage, images, anything you want. And it's got this, if I scrub, I'm just scrubbing right through here. It's got this RGB split. You can also grab the other one, bring that on, collapse the transformation. Similar thing, just different values added in there. And you also have these static, TV static compositions. So feel free to start and try to make your own glitch transitions in there. All right, I got one more thing to go over, and it's the paper textures available for this download, the wipes and transitions. And if we twirl down the graphics folder here, you'll see here the 3 paper textures. And here are the 3 comps that use paper textures, so the 3 transitions, 38, 39, and 43. We are gonna be going with 43, which is the paper tear wipe. Grab that, bring that in here, slide it over so the place edit marker is where I want it to, where the edit to be. And if I scrub through this, you have just paper wiping on and then paper wiping off. And you'll notice inside here, you can see this nice clean texture on the paper. Now, in order to change that, we can double click on this comp here, or you can click on this paper tear wipe, and here's your paper tear texture to replace. And inside there, you have those 3 textures. You can click any of these. You can also bring in your own texture to put in there if you want some other kind of look. If we navigate back here, and we can head to the control layer, and on the control layer you can change the paper hue. You know, you can change the back color of the paper, saturation. You can also turn off the texture if you didn't want the texture there. And if you twirl down this pre-comp folder, on the top here is the paper tear color footage option. If we double click in there and we drag in a paper texture, like a wrapping paper texture we want, I'm just going to scale this up to fit the screen here, and you navigate back to, and you have your texture on here. The wedge wipe has a replace footage option. So let's actually click on 45 so you can see a little bit better of what's going on here. So you have the letter C is in here. And if we wanted to replace it with footage of the bay, option drag and click onto there, and you'll have footage of whatever you want behind inside that wipe there. Now let's say you didn't want footage at all in there. All you got to do is create a new solid, and let's bring that up here, and you can make that white. Click OK, make sure it's comp size there. Make sure replace footage is on. Option drag onto there, and you will have all your controls still going on. So you can change the colors, you can change them individually. Always navigate into the compositions to see if you have a color adjust options. It will always be on the top layer there. Let's say you want to duplicate some of these wipes on here and have them at different parts in your project, different sections in your project. You can easily just Command D or go up to Edit and Duplicate on any of these compositions, even the replaced footage. So let's say I have one of my footage going to the Golden Gate Bridge, option drag onto here. Let's say I want the same 16 wipe, but I want it to go to something different. So I just Edit, Duplicate, jump in here, and let's put on Hawaii. So you see now we have two different 16, the same move, but different footage in there. Now the issue comes into when, let's say for example, it's the fire linear wipe here. Now if we do the same thing, grab 41 here and do Edit Duplicate, then we head into the number 41 here, we cannot change any of these options here. The expressions are broken here. So we need to delete these. And if you go to aescripts.com, you have the True Comp Duplicator, and you can name your own price here. And how that works is we select both these two comps again, go to File, Scripts, True Comp Duplicator, and you need to update the expressions. So update expressions, I'm gonna add a 2 to the end of these to change them up, and duplicate selected, and you get a screen that says 6 items duplicated, 5 expressions updated, and that's what the important part is here. So what we can do is go in here, grab that second wipe, bring that in here. So we have, let's say we have our first one that wants to wipe left to right here. We go into here, put the Luma invert, turn off the matte, go into this one, and we want it to -90. So it's wiping up, and we go back to our example project. And you see right there, it's updating that, and you got this one going that way, and this one going this way. So those are the options to duplicate your comps and wipes. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy this new pack from rpstock.net, 50 transitions and wipes.